Hello, and welcome to week 7. This week, we're looking at adapting instruction for ELLs, something, of course, you're more than familiar with. So you're going to be reading chapter 8 in Echeveria and considering what it means to become a reflective practitioner. Now, you've all been doing that or will be doing that because that's the very idea of delivering your lessons in your own class and in a colleague's class. We don't often get the time to sit and reflect about our teaching, but this course forces us to do just that. So, with that in mind, I've put a couple of items for you to explore this week. The first is one of my favorite websites, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, but it's called Adapting Instruction. And it's actually from Teachers First, which is a free, no advertising resource that is offered to teachers through a nonprofit organization. So that makes it kind of nice for us. It's been around for a long time and it's very teacher friendly. So let me show you how you use it. Click on the link. And I've taken you to an area in professional resources called Adapt a Strategy. And it's how to adjust lessons for ESL or ELL students. So you click on the activity that you want to teach your students, and they will then give you ideas for adapting it to your ELL students. So suppose I want to present a lesson with cultural components. So I click, and now I get, it takes me to this area, presenting a lesson with cultural components, and it tells me what I should be doing. The same thing is true for any of these. And of course, if I scroll down, I'm going to see them all. That just takes you to each individual one. And then you can click on the link. So if I had chosen having students read literature, different strategies. They can use repeat after us. And then you can click on this and you'll get to that. Audiobooks that match your text. Something called Speak It. ESL support materials, awesome stories. So I think you get the idea. Lots of good resources here, not just for this, but for differentiating, for professional development, for reading, for rubrics, all kinds of nice things, all kinds of wonderful resources. So if you click on Classroom Resources, you can browse by subject and grade. You can look on their calendar and see what's happening. And it's a great resource. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about, since your lesson plan 2 is due this week, is I wanted to remind you, you must look at my comments. So I was afraid that some people weren't really looking at the comments because I'm not really grading them just yet. I'm just looking to see that they look the way I want them to look. So I don't complete the rubric, but I do comments. But where there are issues, to call your attention to those issues, I am now, instead of putting the 0, I'm putting the -1, the -2, so that you know, especially if you see that there's something that needs revision and your attention. So after reviewing your first lesson plan, what do I see is the biggest issue? I see the biggest issue is difficulty writing instructional objectives. Now, maybe your district doesn't require you to write instructional objectives in this way, but it is something that you should be familiar with and that you should know how to do. So, I've given you a couple of resources. The first is writing instructional objectives. For those of you who like to read this yourself, here it is, with some examples. kinds of keywords you need, and utilizing the ABCD method, which A is for audience, the student, B is the behavior or the action verb, C is the condition of the objective, and D is the degree of achievement. So you can look at the examples, see, do your objectives resemble that? Here are some poor objectives, and then those objectives improved. So you can read through those. Then we talk about the different levels. And some of you have written your objectives with that in mind. Some of you used Bloom's taxonomy, so that worked out well. So you've got, how do I write a knowledge objective? How do I write one that's comprehension or application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, the highest level? Here are additional examples of objectives and what area of knowledge they are tapping. And you can see the difference between affective objectives, psychomotor objectives, okay? And for those of you who are more visual and auditory, I have a very short video, really good though, on how to write an instructional objective. So you're turning in lesson 2 this week. And additionally, I have 2 short videos, one on good instruction. This is not super short, but it's 20 minutes from Color in Colorado. It's a panel discussion, but it's quite good. And then much shorter, but fun, tips and strategies for effective differentiation and instruction. So I hope you enjoyed the material this week. I hope you're making good progress in delivering your lessons and reflecting on those lessons. Take care. Let me know if you have questions or concerns. And I will be speaking with you soon.